Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Round 18 of our Moto2 World Championship is upon us, and it's time for Phillip Island in Australia. So Grant's on pole position after a dominant qualifying session. Gardner, Fernandez joined him in the front row with Ben Schneider, Arbolino and Fernandez. Trotter, Bezzecchi, Vietti, Canet, Lowe's, Manzi, Di Antonio, Dixon, Roberts, Ramirez, Luti, Dalla Porta, Vieche, Agura, Bobier, Navarro, Baldassari and Cyrene, Garzo, Arenas, Montella, Corsi, Buliga, Somkiat Chantra, and Barry Baltus at the back of the grid. So here we are on pole position, waiting for the red lights to go out, and away we go! Let's get a good start here. I do believe we have the potential to get to the front and just disappear to check out, so we're going to have to see what Remy Gardner, the home man, can do about it, and Raul Fernandez, his teammate, behind. But Grant does indeed get the whole shot going into the Doohan corner, therefore Grant is in the lead, and that could very well be it, ladies and gentlemen. I am feeling extremely confident around this Phillip Island circuit, and this could be it for the sense of any sort of competition. We're just going to absolutely bolt it and see where we can end up, because of course championship standings are super tight at the moment, but if we manage to get one over on Remy Gardner once again, we could be looking towards the promised land, towards the next couple of races. But we ran a little bit wide going into turn 4, a mistake already into Honda. I was too eager to get away to the front, and mistakes have been made. Gardner now leads with Fernandez and Arbolino in third position. Now onto the left-hand side for Siberia. Grant was desperate to get to the front and disappear, but unfortunately mistakes have been made, and now we're on the back foot once again. But I'm still not too worried about it as we go around the outside to then chuck it up on the inside, going up into the Lukey Heights, just ahead of Tony Arbolino there. Wonderfully manoeuvred for Matt Grant, for Dr. Ace of course. Raul Fernandez on the right hand side there. Remy Gardner again. Can we go around the outside of Raul Fernandez? It doesn't look like an opportunity is presenting itself just yet, but who knows what's going to happen as we go down to turn 12 in just a moment's time. Wide exit there, so we can get really close on the exit to turn 12, at least the entry to turn 12. Now onto the rear of Raul Fernandez and Remy Gardner. Can we blitz past the Red Bull KTM riders? Can we do it? We're looking pretty strong right now. Across the timing line we go, and we are now in the lead with Gardner being demoted down to second position. Onto the right hand side we go, but Remy Gardner is strong going onto the inside of the Doohan corner. Look at how he's positioned the motorcycle. There's no way we can fight back going up on the inside on the left hand side. Raul Fernandez tries to go around the outside. Will he manage it? I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Grant also sees an opportunity going around the outside of Remy Gardner. Can he get the job done? Now going into the Stoner corner. We're going to go for a wider line here and then potentially get him up on the brakes going into Honda. But here we go. Not quite strong enough on the brakes for turn 4. Remy Gardner was positioned quite beautifully to try and deter the British rider from getting on through. So the battle still continues for now. I must confess I did think we would already be chucking in a good couple of seconds ahead of Remy Gardner, but as far as we're concerned right now, I'm quite happy with this battle that is surmounting now as we go and try around the outside. Remy Gardner, a little bit of contact made there between the Red Bull KTM IO rider and the Petronas SRT Calyx as we now get onto the left hand side for Lukey Heights. Remy Gardner, the Australian in his home track, he really doesn't want to drop the points to Grant this time. Of course, this championship battle has been quite fierce, and it is looking to be even more fierce and ferocious here today. So once again, a little mistake going in there for Grant into turn 10. Onto the left-hand side now for turn 11. Somewhat of a little bit of a mistake as well there, getting stuck on the rumble strip as Remy Gardner has now pulled out half a second advantage. Is this going to be the surprise appearance compared to what I thought? Now, I did believe that Grant was going to be the man to disappear into the distance. Is it going to be Gardner this time? Can Grant chase him down? Who knows what's going to happen in this one, but I tell you what, I'm loving it so far. Of course, not many rounds left in this World Championship. There'll be 2 rounds after this one, so it is absolutely crucial that we take the maximum amount of points available today, or at the very least, take as many points as possible away from this man ahead of you in front of you right now on your screen. Remy Gardner, the man has been so good this season. He's had a couple of ups and downs, just the same as we have. Maybe we had a few more downs, but here we go up on the inside now, going into turn 4 for Honda. That is gorgeously done if we can get it to stick. We ran a little bit deep. Will Gardner be retaliating? He won't be. That is magnificently done from the championship leader, the British rider, the Moto3 World Champion. Don't forget that he is still the championship winner from Moto3 because, of course, there hasn't been determined a winner in the lower class just yet. But I do feel this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the 0.2 of a second gap that is bound to turn into 2.2 tenths of a second. Now we've got the rhythm going. These medium tyres are well and truly up to optimum temperature. We're already up 7 tenths of a second compared to the previous lap time. Granted, we did make a couple of mistakes here and thereabouts, but Remy Gardner is still trailing by 2.5 tenths of a second. The gap is now teetering, going up to about 3.5 tenths of a second, on the precipice of getting a little bit too far for Remy Gardner and Fernandez behind, but coming out of turn 12, this will give us a good indication on where we are going to be. Now across the line we will go in a moment's time, and the fast lap of the race certainly does go to Matt Grant with a 1:32.336, and for some reason the game has been a little uncooperative, let's say, and it's not showing me the fastest lap on the left hand side of your screen there underneath Marcel Schotter's name. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. I must remember to restart the Grand Prix as soon as it starts, just to make sure I can get that fast lap on there, because for some reason a quick restart seems to fix it. The old classic, have you tried turning it off and on again? But now to the left hand side we go for Stoner Corner, up by a tenth of a second compared to the previous lap time, which of course was indeed the fastest, as we bring it in. Lovely done for turn 4 there, going for a middle line in the track. Not usually able to do that line, since there's usually some would-be lunges or attackers behind, just like we had in the Moto3 race just 1 season ago. But it looks like that may be it, ladies and gentlemen. A 9 tenths of a second gap already to the way of the British rider, the Moto2 World Championship leader, and this could very well be the killing blow to Remy Gardner. The killing moon from the Echo and the Bunnymen, they said it's the killing blow for Matt Grant to win the World Championship with this 1 second advantage. Because if you look at it now and we take another 5 points away from Remy Gardner, we could very well win the championship in Sepang, depending on how well Remy Gardner does and how well we do as well. But now we do see on the left hand side of your screen there, Andy Yates' pick of a world champion this season in Moto2, actually in this video game format. Sam Lowe's unfortunately not coming to fruition for you, mate. It was a good suggestion, but it didn't really work. And across the line we go. It's a 1:31.968 for the British rider. World Championship speed right now. This is a very determined man here in Australia. Now the ironic thing is we did wear the Wayne Gardner Dr. Ace helmet variant the last time we were here, but of course fighting with Wayne Gardner's son, I didn't really think it'd be appropriate to make another Wayne Gardner replication here in this wonderful circuit of Phillip Island, especially not when we're going up against his son. It does seem a little bit unfair and a little bit of a sour taste to give to the Gardner family, so therefore we're just rocking our usual style helmet. And at this point of the video I have actually been able to get a MotoGP contract for next season. However, a little bit of a caveat, let's say. Unfortunately I have had to cancel this season and make a new season because for some reason I didn't get offered anything in MotoGP, and I don't know why that is. So unfortunately I had to make a new season, so we have actually decided on which team we will be joining. I'll do a poll in a couple of days time and you guys can have your input to see who I've actually joined. Now it's only a team of maybe 3 or 4 options, and I'm quite happy with the result. I've already made the helmet, the leathers look great, the number looks great with the particular bike, so I can't wait for that. It's now down to us just trying to do what we can do here in Phillip Island, here in Sepang, and here in Valencia, because no matter what happens in this World Championship, whether we win it or we lose it, I'm moving up to MotoGP. It has been decided, because I can't wait for MotoGP any longer. I'm just super excited. Now, to mention earlier, I did say something regarding cancelling the season. I meant cancelling the career mode that I've got, but basically when you've already done everything in Moto2 and Moto3 and you move across to MotoGP, you basically have the same as you were if you were starting MotoGP from fresh anyway. But just to quickly mention, on the left hand side of your screen there, Marco Bezzecchi somehow went from 4th place to 2nd during that long straight, so that is a great job for Marco Bezzecchi, and the Italian is doing me a cracking favour right now. And as I just said that, Remy Gardner has decided to get back ahead of Marco Bezzecchi. But if Marco Bezzecchi can just cause some issues, cause a couple of faults and maybe a few mistakes coming in from Remy Gardner, then Bezzecchi, you are one of my favourite riders in real life no matter what. I very much enjoy Marco Bezzecchi. However, but I would love him even more if he could just give us a little bit more extra assistance. Granted, he's not our teammate because I can't even see our teammates on the left-hand side of the screen. No Jake Dixon and no Xavi Vierge in that top 8 as things stand. But we do see the Dynavolt intact team of Arbolino and Marcel Schrotter. So that is a good sight to see. Sam Lowe's doesn't really seem to have made any impression on Tony Arbolino and Ben Schneider ahead. Seems to be remaining there in 7th position. But we now go into turn 10, or on the exit of turn 10. Onto the left-hand side for turn 11 we go, as we make a little bit of a mistake. It's been a while since we made an error like that, and unfortunately, our first track limit warning. Of course, if we get 5 of those, we'll be heading to the long lap penalty, which I do believe is in turn 4 for Honda, but I really don't fancy sampling a long lap penalty here today. So across the line we will go. It's now lap 7 of 13. Things are looking relatively comfortable, but at the same time, another mistake like the one we just made a moment ago, and Marco Bezzecchi and Gardner could be right there with us. So we just need to make sure we are on our best behaviour and focusing at the task at hand. And of course, I don't know if you noticed in this one, but I have not actually used power setting 3 at any particular point. I've only used power setting 2. I really don't think it's necessary. I'm pretty confident with what we're doing, and I don't think we're going to really need to use power setting 3. Might as well just have a nice, pleasant journey to another victory for Dr. Ace. So guys, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and of course I always reply to the comments, so if you just fancy dropping me a comment and chatting about anything you want to, let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, one big thank you to the Aces. Recently I've had a few issues with some family emergencies, and I really appreciate you guys just hanging on for me and sending me love and support. A big thumbs up from me. I really appreciate all the love and the assistance from you guys. So MotoGP 21 videos got pushed back by a day or two, which actually means this weekend you're going to get a double MotoGP 21 whammy. On Saturday and Sunday we'll be concluding the World Championship for Moto2, ready to start our MotoGP journey on Wednesday the following week. I personally cannot wait for that. I am super excited, so we'll have to see how that gets on. But for time being, we still have a job to do, and that is to win here in Phillip Island, do whatever we need to do in Sepang, and then in Valencia. Sepang is a little bit of a difficult circuit for me. I really enjoy the circuit, but I do find that sometimes I struggle a little bit here and there. Valencia, on the other hand, I am super excited for. I love Valencia. I'm usually very good there, so I'm probably going to be just as good there anyway. Fingers crossed I haven't just jinxed myself there. We're going into the Southern Loop now for lap 8. Lap 8 of 13, of course. The gap has stayed roughly the same, around a 1 second gap. It's gone down to about 9/10 and hovered around 1.4 as well. But the main thing is as long as we're holding this 1 second gap, we really shouldn't panic. Remy Gardner's still got a 1 second gap to sort of dethrone and to overcome. I don't think he's going to do it, as we love a lovely type apex going into turn 4 there. One of my favourite parts of this track, and honestly this track has so many great parts. There really isn't a negative to this track. You've got the combination of Lukey heights and then dropping it down into turn 10. Southern Loop is awesome. Siberia, as we just tackled then. Honda for turn 4, the Stoner Corner. It's really one of the best circuits on the MotoGP calendar. I think I'm going to have to start doing some polls, and we're going to start and decide which Grand Prix or which tracks on this Grand Prix calendar is the best. But we now break into the right-hander of turn 10. Just mentioned a moment ago. We'll be getting onto the left-hand side, just being careful on the acceleration there, because as you can see, bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, the front tyre and the rear tyre have taken a bit of a hounding on that left-hand side. So we have to be a little bit careful going into the next couple of corners, especially for the left hand. Now it's not so bad because we've got the right-handers, but then we'll be going into the Southern Loop on the left-hand side of the tyre, and of course we'll be trail braking into that particular corner. But a 132.169 for Grant is more than enough to keep Raul Fernandez and Remy Gardner at bay, and it looks like Marco Bezzecchi has just been demoted down to 4th position, so that podium that he was beckoning after doesn't look like it's going to happen here today unless he can fight back against the 2 Red Bull KTM IO riders. Joe Roberts is now up into the top 8th, as you can see him on the left hand side of your screen there, 8th position for the number 16 for the man from America. Will be hard on the brakes in a moment's time for turn 4 of Honda. Don't know why it's not called Honda in the video game, but I'm sure it is Honda in real life. Might be completely wrong. If I am wrong, let me know in the comments section down below. But onto the left hand side we go now for turn 6 of Siberia, holding it into 2nd gear, just bobbing the throttle a bit, just being gentle on that throttle. Don't want to be giving it too much and spinning up the rear, not when the tyres are looking a little bit bleak as they are right now. But onto the right hand side for turn 8, get ready to straighten the motorcycle up and then chuck it into the left hand side, braking from about 140 miles an hour down to about 90, just to hover it round into this corner. A little bit eager on the acceleration, but hard on the brakes we go for turn 10. Nice and tight apex, and then pick up the power and get onto the left hand side for turn 11. Going tight on the apex there is not too bad. I don't really like to do it, but I've done it a couple of times in this Grand Prix already. I think I even did it in practice as well earlier on today at 4 PM, because of course, if you're not aware of the schedule, I always do the practice races, the qualifying at 4 PM and the Grand Prix itself at 8 PM on the same day. So just 4 laps remaining of this Australian Grand Prix, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any sort of challenge coming in from the riders behind. I think we can just sort of sit back and relax. I'm going to recline in my chair, have a bit of water, and I think that is going to be it for me in the sense of winning this Grand Prix, unless something dramatic happens, but I don't think so. We're in a wonderful situation right now. The left-hand side of the front and rear tyres aren't looking too good, but considering we're already quicker into this first sector, we could be looking at some serious fast-paced lap times, but hard on the brakes we go for turn 4. The anchors are down, that right boot of Dr. Ace, you've been saying that for 2 seasons now. Both times have been Dainese boots, and I'm sticking with Dainese when we move up to MotoGP as well. I have changed the helmet brand, but as far as the actual Dainese leathers go, I'm still sticking with the Daineses. And now the Alpine Stars are awesome as well anyway, but I tend to always go for Alpine Stars, so this year I did fancy a change, and I love Dainese leathers. I love the way the boots look with the actual sort of long leg and the different style of the knee pad. Goodness me, that was a bit of a mistake going into turn 9 of Lukey Heights. This lap time that was going to be something special is no longer anything, but onto the right hand side we go for turn 10. We'll be trying to work our way over the 2-second barriers, but Marco Bezzecchi is now up into the 3rd position. Now, something to mention as well, actually, I really wish in MotoGP 22, this is like a Dr. Ace wishlist, I don't think many people will be that bothered, but please bring more leathers. I want to use Speedy leathers, Revit leathers, any other different leathers as sort of a different sort of style. I just want to try different leathers, it just looks different. I like the Speedy ones, I think they've always looked really cool. The Revit ones don't look so bad, but Ixon as well. I'm a big fan of Ixon. I have an Ixon jacket. I think I even have RST Track Tech boots when I was doing my motorbike lessons. And then I've got a Shark helmet or a HJC helmet for when I go go-karting. So yeah, give me more variants as far as customization goes. I want to do more stuff, and Ride 4 had the amazing customization. There was lots to choose from. Yes, I get it, it's a little bit different to MotoGP and you can't really put everything in. And I guess the way the leather suits will look on depending on different leathers. So I guess Dainese and Alpine Stars make more sense because the majority of the riders use those. But I'm sure Speedy and Ixon's not really that much different anyway. I don't know, maybe I'm just barking up a wrong tree, but that's something on Dr. Ace's wish list for MotoGP 22 from whenever it arises. So the gap is now over 2 seconds, and unfortunately there's not really much for me to talk about. This is similar to the Mazzana race we had. I am not used to these races on where I can't really say much about the Grand Prix itself. I can remind you once again that Remy Gardner and Marco Bezzecchi are still battling it out for 2nd and 3rd, and don't forget Raul Fernandez, he's in 4th position, also trying to get himself onto the podium. Now, of course, Raul Fernandez, Remy Gardner, these guys need to be looking for the next season, because if Grant is no longer going to be here, it's going to be theirs to take. But don't forget Sam Lowes, Remy Gardner, Marco Bezzecchi, Raul Fernandez, Ben Schneider, Lowes. It's going to be... who knows who's going to win it next season, because there's so much talent. There's a plethora of talent in Moto 2. Some of the young guys could develop themselves and they could be battling it out for the win in the sense of the championship for next season in Moto 2. And of course we're on to bigger and better things. You can't necessarily say better, but somewhat better, because MotoGP of course is the premium class of moto cycling racing in general. But already up into the first sector, we are up by 2.5 tenths of a second, so we're looking fine and dandy for this one as we get onto the left hand side for the Stoner corner. We'll be getting hard on the brakes now for turn 4 for Honda. Beautifully done. Ran it a little bit gently into that corner, but no, we don't need to be abrupt right now, and we don't necessarily need to be going for the fast lap of the race. There's no additional points in MotoGP for setting the faster lap, but hey ho, I would like that in my arsenal to say yes, we managed to dominate here in Phillip Island and even took the fast lap of the race on lap 12 of 13. But onto the right hand side we go now for turn 8. Wonderfully done there, utilising power setting 3 because yes, I thought why not, let's go for the fastest lap, let's just chuck in some serious fast lap times and just do whatever we feel is right at the time. But breaking into turn 10, onto the right hand side we go. Dropped it down for power setting 2 for that particular corner, because coming on the exit of there having power setting 3, it might spin up the rear just a little bit, but this lap time is going to be seriously close to the previous lap time, or at least the lap time that we set earlier on with a 1:31.968. Our last lap was a 1:31.999. We're not quite going to beat it, although it's going to be very, very close. Across the line we go, and it is a 1:31.978. Look at those 2 lap times, really, really tightly done there. But onto the right hand side we go for the Duan corner. I'm going to see if we can get the fastest lap here, right here on the final lap. The penultimate lap was a success in the sense of a fast lap time, but it wasn't the fastest lap time. But now we're going to see what we can do. Power setting 2 coming out of the corner. As we get onto the straight, power setting 3, we're up by an additional 10th. Onto the left hand side we go for Stoner corner. Please don't make a mess of it now, as Raul Fernandez is now up into second position, Marco Bezzecchi in third, and Remy Gardner has been demoted to fourth place. On this last lap, this could be absolutely crucial for the World Championship. Now bear in mind, if Raul Fernandez takes second, or excuse me, Remy Gardner takes second, he will only lose 5 points to the British rider who's leading right now. If he finishes in third place, he will lose 9 points. And if my calculations are correct, he will lose 12 points, I do believe, from first to fourth position. That is a big swing. Remy Gardner really needs to fight back on this last lap. This could be a catastrophe for Remy Gardner right now. The difference in championship standings, if he doesn't stay there and he manages to move himself up, is huge. This could be an absolute critical moment for the World Championship. Right at the death, something has gone off here, guys. I did not expect that. I thought we would be the one maybe making a mistake. I thought Remy Gardner was poised for second position, but we weren't going to get the fast lap of the race, but it doesn't matter anymore. Across the line we'll go, and Grant wins in dominating fashion here in Phillip Island. So a look at the race results, and yes, Remy Gardner did not make it to the podium. Grant wins with Raul Fernandez in second, Marco Bezzecchi in third, and Remy Gardner finishes off at the podium by 0.2 of a second. So we'll look at the championship standings, and Gardner has lost massively. He is down by 35 points. As far as Grant is concerned now, as long as he finishes near or near enough to Remy Gardner in Sepang, he will be the Moto2 World Champion. Now looking at the team championship, the Red Bull KTM IO team are still dominating that in dramatic fashion by 62 points ahead of Petronas Sprinter Racing and 163 ahead of Elf Mark VDS Racing Team. So guys, that concludes this Phillip Island round 18 of our Moto2 World Championship. I really hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it wasn't the most entertaining of races, but I guess when you disappear to the front and start checking it out, there really isn't much to discuss. But guys, upon that note, thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.